The ocean covers most of Earth, yet it remains the part of the planet we know with the least intimacy. We live beside it, cross it, photograph it from orbit, name its currents, measure its temperature, harvest its life, and still its largest volume remains beyond ordinary human reach. From space, Earth looks like a blue world already revealed. From within the water, the planet becomes layered, dark, pressurized, and unfinished. The mystery begins with scale. The ocean is wide enough to shape weather, deep enough to hide mountain ranges, and old enough to carry the memory of continents moving through geological time. It holds trenches deeper than any mountain is tall, plains larger than nations, volcanic ridges running across the globe, and ecosystems that exist without sunlight. A person can stand at the edge of the sea and feel close to it. That closeness is deceptive. The shoreline is only the doorway. The ocean remains Earth's greatest mystery because it is difficult to enter on its own terms. Light fails quickly, radio signals disappear in seawater, pressure grows with every meter, salt corrodes machines, storms erase access, depth turns exploration into engineering. Even now, after centuries of navigation and decades of modern oceanography, the sea keeps vast portions of itself hidden beneath a surface we mistake for knowledge. Humans have mapped the ocean in many ways, yet mapping has levels of truth. Satellite altimetry can infer broad seafloor shapes by measuring tiny changes in sea surface height caused by gravity. This gives a global picture, useful and impressive, but it lacks the fine detail needed to understand many features clearly. High-resolution mapping requires ships carrying multi-beam sonar, moving slowly over enormous distances while sound pulses measure depth beneath the hull. As of April 2026, only about 28.7% of the global seafloor had been mapped with modern high-resolution technology. That number is far better than it once was, yet it also reveals the remaining scale of ignorance. More than two-thirds of the seafloor still awaits detailed mapping by modern standards. In some places, we know the broad shape. In many places, we lack the fine terrain. The small ridges, vents, scarps, landslide scars, coral fields, sediment patterns, and habitats that define the living seafloor. This matters because a map is more than a visual record. It is the foundation for understanding hazards, habitats, resources, currents, carbon storage, and geological history. A poorly mapped seabed can hide active faults, submarine volcanoes, seamount ecosystems, or landslide zones capable of producing tsunamis. The ocean floor is the largest landscape on Earth, and much of it still exists for us as a rough outline. The sea changes quickly with depth. The upper ocean is bright, energetic, and familiar because sunlight powers it. Phytoplankton bloom, fish feed, seabirds hunt, and waves move through air and water together. This thin illuminated layer supports most of the marine life humans recognize. It is the ocean of documentaries, beaches, storms, reefs, whales, and fisheries. Beneath it, light begins to fail. The twilight zone stretches downward through dim blue water where many animals migrate daily, rising at night and sinking before dawn. Lower still, sunlight disappears entirely. The midnight zone, abyssal plains, hydrothermal vents, cold seeps, and hadal trenches belong to permanent darkness. This is the majority environment of the ocean by volume, and it operates with rhythms that surface experience cannot easily imagine. Exploring that darkness requires lamps, cameras, sonar, pressure housings, remotely operated vehicles, autonomous platforms, and patient research vessels. Every observation is expensive. Every descent covers a narrow path. A submersible can spend hours in the deep and still see only a tiny fraction of a habitat. The ocean's mystery persists because direct vision reaches it slowly. One dive, one transect, one instrument at a time. For a long time, the human imagination linked life with sunlight. Plants, forests, crops, reefs, plankton, and food chains all seem to point toward the sun as the great provider. The deep ocean complicated that picture. Hydrothermal vents revealed dense ecosystems in total darkness, built around microbes that use chemical energy instead of photosynthesis. Giant tube worms, mussels, clams, shrimp, crabs, and other organisms gather where hot mineral-rich fluids rise from the seafloor. Cold seeps revealed another version of the same lesson. Methane, hydrogen sulfide, and other chemicals can support microbial communities and the animals that depend on them. Whale falls create temporary ecosystems as a carcass sinks to the seafloor and feeds scavengers, worms, microbes, and bone-eating organisms for years. Deep-sea corals grow in darkness, filtering food from water without the bright partnership that tropical corals often share with algae. These discoveries show that the ocean's hidden life is more inventive than older models allowed. Each expedition can find new species, new behaviors, or new ecological relationships. Some creatures are known from a few specimens. Some are filmed once and then vanish back into darkness for decades. The deep ocean is alive in ways that resist simple inventory. It is a biological archive still being opened. When people think about the ocean, they often imagine the surface or the seafloor. Between them lies the water column, a vast, three-dimensional habitat filled with drifting, swimming, glowing, feeding, migrating life. This middle world is difficult to study because it lacks fixed landmarks. It moves with currents, changes with depth, and contains animals too fragile for traditional nets. The twilight zone may contain an immense biomass of small fish, squid, crustaceans, and gelatinous organisms. Many participate in daily vertical migration, carrying carbon from surface waters into the deep. This movement affects global carbon cycling, predator-prey relationships, and the structure of marine food webs. Yet exact estimates remain uncertain because the animals are mobile, patchy, and hard to count. The water column also contains gelatinous life that earlier sampling methods damaged or missed. Siphonophores, comb jellies, larvaceans, and delicate jelly-like animals can be torn apart by nets. Cameras and remotely operated vehicles have revealed fragile architectures that look almost impossible. Long colonial bodies, transparent bells, pulsing lights, drifting mucus houses that filter particles from the sea. The ocean's mystery is not only on the bottom, it floats between the surface and the abyss. The seafloor is often imagined as still, flat, and dead. In reality, it is active. Along mid-ocean ridges, new crust forms as magma rises and cools. At subduction zones, plates sink, earthquakes occur, trenches deepen, and volcanic arcs grow. Seamounts rise as underwater mountains, creating habitats for corals, sponges, fish, and invertebrates. Submarine landslides reshape slopes. Brine pools gather dense salty water in eerie basins. Mud volcanoes and seeps release fluids from below. This activity links the ocean to Earth's interior. Heat, minerals, gases, and chemical reactions move through cracks and sediments. Microbes live within seafloor environments, and recent research continues to expand the known boundaries between ocean, crust, and life. Around some hydrothermal systems, animals and microbes can inhabit spaces beneath the visible seafloor, extending ecosystems into hidden cavities. The seafloor therefore holds many mysteries at once: geological, chemical, biological, and climatic. It records ancient ocean conditions in sediment layers. It stores carbon, it creates habitat, it generates hazards, it supports life that can influence how scientists think about other worlds. A flat blue ocean surface hides a restless bottom. One reason space exploration has advanced so rapidly in public imagination is communication. Radio waves travel well through space. A spacecraft can send signals across millions or billions of kilometers, and large antennas can listen. The ocean creates a different problem. Seawater absorbs and scatters many electromagnetic signals, making radio communication difficult underwater. Sound travels far better, so ocean science relies heavily on acoustic methods with their own limits and complexities. This communication barrier shapes exploration. Underwater vehicles need cables, acoustic links, autonomous navigation, careful mission planning and recovery systems. A robot deep below the surface may not be able to stream information as freely as a spacecraft in open space. The ocean blocks, bends, delays, and distorts access. Even locating an object underwater can become difficult when depth, terrain, currents, and noise interfere. The disappearance of aircraft or ships at sea can become a search problem of extraordinary complexity. Debris can drift, wreckage can sink into rugged terrain. Sonar searches may take months or years. The ocean is not empty space with clear lines of sight. It is a heavy medium that hides sound, metal, bodies, and evidence inside layers of motion. The ocean is also mysterious because it is a machine we depend on but do not fully control. It absorbs heat, stores carbon, moves energy through currents, releases moisture into the atmosphere, and shapes weather patterns. The great circulation systems of the ocean help regulate climate across continents. Currents carry warm water poleward and cold water toward lower latitudes. Upwelling brings nutrients to the surface. Deep waters can store changes for decades or centuries. The current that most people call the Gulf Stream is part of a larger Atlantic circulation system. Changes in salinity, temperature, ice melt, wind, and density can influence circulation patterns in complex ways. Scientists measure the ocean with floats, satellites, moorings, ships, and models. Yet uncertainty remains because the system is vast and dynamic. A change in the deep ocean may take time to reveal its full consequences. This makes the ocean's mystery practical rather than decorative. It affects rainfall, hurricanes, fisheries, sea level, heat waves, coastal flooding, and the long-term behavior of climate. The ocean is not simply scenery surrounding continents. It is one of the main engines of habitability. Understanding it poorly means living inside a system that can change more deeply than daily weather suggests. The ocean stores history. Sediments on the seafloor accumulate slowly, preserving traces of past climates, volcanic eruptions, asteroid impacts, oxygen levels, biological changes, and continental movement. Tiny shells, mineral grains, organic molecules, and chemical signatures can reveal ancient temperatures and atmospheric conditions. Cores taken from the seabed allow scientists to read chapters of Earth's past written in mud. This archive is incomplete in human hands because sampling the seafloor is difficult. Research vessels can drill or core in selected locations, but the ocean floor is vast. Each sample is a narrow cylinder of evidence taken from a specific place. Scientists compare many such records to reconstruct broad patterns, but countless regions remain unsampled or poorly understood. The planet's memory is there, yet access comes slowly. The same is true for archaeological and human history. Shipwrecks, drowned landscapes, ancient coastlines, lost cargoes, war remains, and submerged settlements can rest beneath the sea. Rising and falling sea levels have changed coastlines throughout human history. The ocean has covered places where people once lived, traveled, hunted, or built. The mystery of the ocean includes the mystery of ourselves. The ocean continues to produce new species, not because life is new there, but because human knowledge is incomplete. Deep-sea expeditions often return with organisms that require careful study before they can be described. Some are small and cryptic. Some belong to groups already known but differ genetically. Some live in specialized environments such as vents, seeps, canyons, seamounts, trenches, or coral gardens. New discoveries can also change the meaning of familiar animals. Sharks, squid, whales, octopus, fish, corals, sponges, and microbes all behave in ways that can surprise researchers when observed in their own habitats. A camera left on the seafloor can reveal feeding patterns. A tag on an animal can reveal migrations. Environmental DNA and water samples can reveal species presence without a direct sighting. Each method opens a different window. The unknown living ocean is especially important because human activity is expanding. Deep-sea mining, industrial fishing, pollution, warming, acidification, and noise can affect organisms before they are well understood. The mystery is therefore fragile. Discovery and damage may advance at the same time. The ocean asks to be studied with urgency and restraint. Science has not failed the ocean. It has revealed an extraordinary amount: plate tectonics, deep-sea vents, global currents, marine food webs, seafloor mapping, whale migrations, coral ecosystems, microbial processes, tsunami generation, and the role of the ocean in climate. The mystery survives because the ocean is too large, too deep, too dynamic, and too difficult for complete knowledge to arrive quickly. Every improvement in technology expands the unknown as much as it reduces it. Better sonar reveals smaller features. Better cameras reveal delicate animals. Better genetics reveal hidden diversity. Better sensors reveal subtle changes in oxygen, acidity, temperature, and carbon. The clearer the ocean becomes, the more complex it appears. Mystery persists through detail. This is why the ocean remains greater than a list of unanswered questions. It is a living, moving, chemical, geological, climatic system that surrounds every continent and reaches into the deepest parts of Earth's surface. It hides in darkness, moves under storms, speaks in currents, and stores records older than civilization. It is close enough to touch and vast enough to resist possession. The ocean is Earth's greatest mystery because it is the largest unknown that touches everyday life. It shapes weather over cities, feeds millions, holds carbon, moves heat, erodes coasts, hides life, records history, and covers the planet in a layer of moving depth. It is not remote in the way a distant star is remote. It is present, immediate, and still difficult to enter. From the shore, the sea offers a surface. From below, it becomes a universe of pressure, darkness, chemistry, sound, migration, and ancient terrain. Every wave belongs to that larger system. Every tide is connected to basins and trenches, reefs and currents, plankton and storms. The ocean's mystery is not an absence of knowledge. It is the scale of what remains after knowledge has already gone far. Earth is called the blue planet, as if the color explained it. The truth is deeper. The blue is a veil over mountains, wounds, forests of coral, deserts of mud, cities of vent life, graveyards of whales, drifting lights, hidden archives and currents that carry the climate of the world. The ocean is still unfinished in human understanding. It may remain that way for a very long time.